Hello, guys. Few years back, I think almost a decade back, maybe. So there was this movie called 127 Hours. It was directed by this same director who directed Slumdog Millionaire, right? Because Slumdog Millionaire was a huge hit. There was a lot of expectation. It was like it's a James Franco movie. Mm, I watched that movie at that time. I think I watched it in a theater. I was like bored, like throughout the movie. I didn't like it at all. It was like a drag. I mean, but that was the time when I was watching lots of such movies. In Tamil there's this thing called Arva Kollaru. Like I used to watch any movie and every movie. Even if I don't like the movie, I used to convince myself that it's a nice movie because the critics said some nice things about the movie. You know what I mean? Like I was a kind of immature. That was the time when I was exploring lots of world cinema and all that kind of stuff. I was I was expecting this movie would be something like that. That's also like a movie where this guy gets stuck in this some this what do you, I forgot the name of this. There's this huge desert in Arizona, right? Like, and at the end he cuts off his own hand or something like that happens. I was expecting it would be something like this, but thank God, I mean, it wasn't like that. This movie, I actually liked it, and I didn't feel like it was a drag or anything. In fact, I was surprised that like when interval came, it felt as if what interval already. That's how I felt. And then I think the movies are like about 2 hours and 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong. But I never felt like it was boring or anything. I actually liked the movie. Maybe because the director, uh, there's a lot of sense of humor. The director has a sense of humor, and and I think Indian audience, they like that. Like, especially if it's like a intense, dry subject or something like this, traumatic or something like this. I believe we appreciate a little bit of sense of humor here and there to have some kind of breathing space. You know what I mean? Like instead of, and I like that about this director that he doesn't take anything that seriously. I mean, though it's based on a real incident, because life is like that, right? Like there's always some humor that happens at the most serious times. You cannot avoid it. And I don't understand directors who don't understand this. It and thankfully, I mean, these Chetans, bro. Chetans are it's their time, I believe. It's their year, it's their decade, I think. Like whatever. And let me think. I actually didn't even realize until like day before yesterday when I booked the ticket that I've been watching back to back Malayalam movies. Like this is like third Malayalam movie, consecutive Malayalam movie that I've seen in the past month or so in theater. I mean, this was Manjummel Boys, Brahma Yugam, and before that it was uh, Malakote Valiban. I never. I mean, I never imagined I would. I would do something like this. Watch like back to back Malayalam movies consecutively. I mean, who would have thought? And there is one important scene that I wanted to talk about from this movie, right? Okay, spoiler alert. So when they finally rescue this person right out of this, what do you call that? This pit or what? The hole that, like the deep black hole that the guy falls into. There's a couple of villagers who take blessings from him, right? There's this old lady who says, "You have you went, saw death, and then came back. You are like God." And he asks she asks her fellow, villagers to take blessings from him, and that actually made me drop a few tears at that time, because just a week or two back, right? I started watching this Netflix series. It's called Surviving Death. If you guys have not seen that, like, do watch it. It's about people who have had near death experiences, right? And it's nothing supernatural or anything like that. The series, there are some people who went through who have experienced near death experiences, and there's another group who interviews them, and then who study them, who try to understand whether it's like their imagination, or whether it's a beautiful, it's like it's very what do you call that, it's critically the subject has been critically approached, as in like it's not like the supernatural. They just try to look at it from a critical perspective, and it's actually a really nice thing, because I've read lots of books about this thing. There's this not lots of books. I've watched lots of videos about this. There's this one person, her name is Dolores Cannon, and so why I felt that statement to be really powerful. See, on the one hand, there is there is a statement about God, what is God? God is light, and there's a kind of atheistic argument in one of the dialogues, and I believe the director said he took it from Kamal Hassan's movies. But on the other hand, I think this director is a naughty guy. Okay, there's this dialogue, right? Like, what do you, how do you, and also it's called Devil's Kitchen. So there's a bit of a church touch at the end in the climax as well, where they say, okay, there's this guy who has rescued your son from Satan's kitchen. So it's not a simple thing, right? You know what I mean? See, whether Satan exists, whether God exists or not, that's a totally different argument, right? But I've always been fascinated by it, because at this point in my life, I think there is some entity, that we call it God. Uh, but if you watch these people who have these near death experiences, right, they all seem to say the same thing. They see a tunnel, and then they go through that tunnel, and then their encounter with some light beings, and then they say, okay, it's not your time, you have to go back, and then they come back. So this is the case with pretty much every single near death encounter. So I found that statement really powerful, although it just happens just like that. It is not very how do we say that, it's not a very significant scene in the movie itself. It just happens just like on the way back to Kerala. But something about that scene that made me cry. It had something powerful in it. I just wanted to convey that. And all the actors, they have done really well. Music, especially, I really like the music. Music was very minimalist, though it didn't overpower or anything. The scenes, the whole movie, nothing. It wasn't out of place or anything like that. I really liked it. I mean, as a whole, as a movie as a whole, I really liked it. What else? I noted down a few things. Mm, yeah, and what a tribute to one of the living legends in Indian cinema, Kamal Hassan, right? So the movie starts with the Kanmani Anbodu Kadalan and pretty much ends with the same song, right? In the climax. I think it's a beautiful tribute to Kamal Hassan, Ulaganayagan, because he has done a lot for Indian cinema. I would say he has been one of these very um, bold and experimentalist kind of you know guys in the Tamil cinema. He his he's inspiring directors like 20-30 years after he started. Is like people still get inspired watching his movies, and it's really beautiful to see Chetan's showing some love to this guy. Kamal Hassan himself, he has said many times that he studied cinema in Kerala, so no wonder, right? Mm. I mean, what else can I say? It's a beautiful movie, and I heard that like it's doing really well in Tamil Nadu as well. Uh, so congrats to the director and the whole team. And okay, I'll see you guys in another video. Bye bye.